Hey everyone, welcome back to the final episode of New Windsor, the longest running series on my channel. New Windsor's over. I explained it in episode 36 of Columbia City, but basically I can't see myself uploading New Windsor consistently, probably ever again. We're gonna end it strong with this video, which is gonna be me flying around with horrible FPS, showing you the city for 50 minutes. We're gonna have a transit ride video, probably, where we ride the light rail line, and then also a final cinematic video, of course. That's the plan, at least. It has to be done. If you're really starved of autumn content, check out Steger's channel, Rwandi's channel, and Ruthless Builder's Twitter in the description down below. Really good content over there. If you want to download the save game for the final version of New Windsor, you can head over to my Patreon and do that. And yeah, that's basically it. Let's get in game and take a look at this enormous city. All right, we're in game. We're going to start over by downtown here. So this is downtown New Windsor. If you look at it in the context of the map, it's sort of in the center of things. Like, there aren't many areas that we didn't expand into that were near downtown. The main one's like over here, which does have some development, so it's not too bad. Downtown, it has changed over time. We've got this one skyscraper right here from Detroit that has stayed here the entire time. A couple others have also been there since the beginning. But this one from Louisville over here with the dome, this has not been here forever. We added this like 15 episodes into the series in place of a different skyscraper from Detroit. And I did that because I didn't want the skyline to look too much like Detroit's. I wanted it to be unique, so I added that. Still fit the theme, pretty similar sort of style. So I like that. But yeah, I mean, the skyline definitely has changed over time, but overall, not too much. Not as much as I think Columbia City's skyline has changed over time. Downtown, though, is an interesting place in terms of development. There are two really wide roads sort of encircling it, which I don't really think is fully realistic for a New England city. For a city like New Windsor, where it's a very, very old city, having a road this wide right in downtown, but especially having a road this wide directly in downtown, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't really like what I did there. I understand why I did it. It was like 2 years ago, but I don't know. I think I could have done a little better in terms of the planning of downtown. I do like the views from over here, though. Pretty awesome stuff. I love this building. This has been here since the start. But yeah, that's downtown. There's this canal over here next to downtown, which we sort of developed throughout the first part of the series, and I still like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's based on a canal in downtown Providence, and I think it captures that vibe really well. I never got to adding any of the gondolas that I wanted to, because that's apparently a thing in Providence. I hate this. Why did I do this? This doesn't make any sense. I would have done something different had I built this today. I don't really like the vibes there too much. Yeah, a lot of this detailing over here. I don't know. Okay, why do I have four full tracks going across the water? It doesn't quite work, especially because the train station doesn't have too much development around it. It's not too unrealistic, though. There is a decent amount of clogged up road here. I mean, look at that. Ew, that's a yikes. Anyway, yeah, that's sort of that's where the train station is. We never actually built any other train stations. We do have a light rail line, which I'll show you. But yeah, we've got the train station right there next to downtown. And then the canal. And in downtown, we've got this building at City Hall, which is a pretty big focal point for the city. I really like how it looks. That's from Chicago. We got a bunch of stuff from Chicago in the city. Weirdly, and a lot of Midwestern stuff within New Windsor. And then sort of, I guess Kentucky isn't Midwestern, but it's sort of close by. So you've got the building from Louisville, and then yeah, just lots of stuff that's not really necessarily from the Northeast that's combined to make it still look like a really realistic northeastern city. Anyway, next we're going to take a look at the university over here. This is Hawking University. It's based on Brown. It's across the water from downtown, and it's one of my favorite spots in the city. If you take a look, it is, yeah, I mean, it looks like a really awesome New England university that has been here for hundreds of years and has been considered for those hundreds of years to be a top institution that a lot of people would like to go to. It's got a statue in the middle of this area over here, and lots of beautiful buildings. If we get on ground level, take a look at the clock tower there. And some dude walking across the street. Yeah, I love Hawking University. This is one of my favorite spots in the city, even though we built it so long ago. I think other than whatever this is a weird slope here. It has definitely stood the test of time pretty well. Let's zoom out a little bit here. So that's Hawking University. I like it. We've got a little bit of development on the water, which I could have done better with, although there weren't as many tools back in the day for building stuff like this as there are now. But it's fine. A little bit of glitchiness. A little bit of stuff that I think there were missing assets that are no longer here, which sort of sucks. So you'll see that every once in a while. Not too many of them, though. I do enjoy this area, though, a lot. Okay, we got a park, and there's a couple of things over here. A little bit of newer development. We've got that office building, but then also some really old development by the water here. I do like this view with the church and then that old sign there and that building. I mean, I think it looks pretty New England there. And the neighborhood surrounding the university, we've got this shopping center here, which I actually like the detailing. I don't dislike it too much. I just wish I'd put it further away from downtown, because there are actually two shopping centers on this peninsula. This is sort of a peninsula that goes out from over here in between those rivers. There's another shopping center on it over here. I actually really like this area. Something about it, with all the green space that people can go ride their bike in or something like that, is pretty cool. And then we've got some sort of maintenance facility over here, some warehouse. I like that. And we got this bridge that goes across. We'll take a look at what's over here later in the episode. But yeah, this island has like a bridge that, or not island, peninsula has a bridge that you can cross on your bike or walking, as you can see. And just around the parks surrounding the area, which I think is pretty cool myself. I don't know about you. And then we've got some apartment buildings over here, a little bit of new development, but mostly old development. A lot of these houses might look different from what they looked like when I initially placed them down. Maybe all of them, actually. I've actually replaced every single house on the map. Or, not on the map. Every single house close to downtown has been replaced at some point in the series. Maybe twice. Because different triple-decker packs have come out, and this is the sort of most recent one, and it looks super realistic, and I absolutely love it. So I had to change everything to it. So I really have been enjoying that, except Darf released a bunch of triple-deckers even after that, but I'm like, oh no, we're done. I've replaced them already, and I'm going to replace them again and again and again. But I'm pretty happy with these, and we do have a bunch of Darf triple-deckers on a different part of the map, although there are some Darf triple-deckers that I never got to placing in the city, which really sucks, but maybe someday I can do some sort of mini project that involves them. Actually, I'm pretty confident that I will, so we'll see those in the future. Don't worry, Darf. Yeah, I like this neighborhood. Pretty cool. Right on the water. And there's a sports stadium for Hawking University. We got a baseball field over there and some parking lots. I don't really hate the development around here. We got like some newer dorms right this way. And that's that peninsula. Oh, on this side of the peninsula, there's a little town with a main street and this cemetery and a church of some sort, which I like. I think this cemetery is pretty cool. I think we spent a whole episode on this area, and I think it paid off. I like this bend over here, even though I don't really like having a road that's this wide go down here. It's pretty unnecessary. I think it really shows off the cliff texture at this bend. Oops. Yeah. I like that view. Anyway, so I think we've covered part of the peninsula. We still have this part of the peninsula to cover, so let's do that quickly. This is the area sort of across from, or like downhill from the university. We've got some beach houses, which I guess would probably just be Airbnb'd all the time. Like a boat ramp. More beach houses. I actually like the vibes over here a lot. Pretty cool stuff. We've got some more beach houses all the way down this beach. I like the vibes there. I forget what I based that off of, but no, I based that off of Westport, Connecticut, I think. Looks pretty cool. I like it. And then there's this bridge and a water tower, and it goes across to this development, or this neighborhood over here. We got this like equestrian center, which has become a pretty big focal point. Like, I love this view right here. We've got the equestrian center with a beautiful architecture, and then you have the two water towers, the beach houses, and the church, and then you have downtown in the background. I like this. I don't know about you. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like this sort of encapsulates this neighborhood really well. This neighborhood is lower density than the other stuff that I've been showing you as we move away from downtown. It's got a little bit of industrial, like we've got a warehouse right over here, and it crosses over the rail yard. And we've got some sort of electricity station here. I don't know how the power grid works. I took a class on that, or that had that as contents of the class like 6 years ago. I should probably remember at least some of it, but I barely do. I will learn that someday. But basically, that's probably totally unrealistic, and you can complain in the comments. I give you license to do that. Here's a Mcmansion development that we made on a live stream in like March. Not too detailed, but yeah, I mean, there are a lot of these in New England, so I wanted to make sure we had a couple in the city at least. We did a whole episode building another one, which I'll show you a little later. But yeah, mostly this is like some lower density stuff. Each of these houses has maybe a little bit of a fence between the next one, but not too much. And this whole area over here is all just low density stuff. Actually, sort of medium density. It's not rural, I wouldn't say. But basically sort of getting far away from the city here. City's all the way in the background. I wanted to go really far out with these, but it didn't end up working out like that. So this area is the lake. I love this lake. This lake's really cool. So we actually finished the entire thing. Part of it was done on a live stream, but we got this amusement park, which is based on Canopy Lake Park in New Hampshire, and I love it. Well, I don't know why cars aren't coming here. It looks like a pretty cool place to go, but it's an awesome park. Look at that. That's creepy. That's like, what? That's like the vibe check face. What? Yo, what? Okay. We got this like neighborhood park. I like this park. I really like this park, actually. This is a pretty cool spot in the city. A nice peninsula park with some rocks around it. Couldn't quite get the detailing right, and then I added those breakwater rocks, and it looked great. And we got this like little main street over here. Not too detailed, but then there's like a strip mall. I enjoy it. Then there's this park over here, and then this is the main marina for the community. Because this is a recreational lake, like you can bring a sailboat on this lake, you can bring a motorboat or anything like that and just drive it around, although it's not too big, so you're not going to be able to go too far. Maybe I'll be able to build like a bigger recreational lake in Columbia City. I'd love to do that. Yeah, pretty cool vibes. I like it. This is like peak New England. And yeah, just it's a pretty wealthy neighborhood, if you couldn't tell already. There's also this really unnecessary covered bridge that I particularly enjoy. Like, look at this. There's no reason for this to be here. This is a water tower that should be on a roof. But I enjoy it anyway. And then you look at that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Nice. And then somebody's out for a walk. I'd like to take a walk here. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, and this is a more detailed part of the lake build over here. So that's that. That's sort of that side of the map. One thing I didn't show from this side of the map is the oil power plant. And then this, which is, I'm not even going to hide this. This is how the city generates power. I have not made a functional real power plant that actually generates enough power to power the city. So it's just this, please ignore this. But yeah, we built this oil power plant pretty early in the series. I still like it. I think it's something else that sort of stood the test of time. And I like the smokestacks here. And the vibes on this highway are pretty awesome. Oh yeah. There's some custom signs over here I started to add. I never ended up adding too many. Although there is one over here that I'll definitely include in the cinematic video. Like, look at that. 95 South to New Windsor. Oh, yeah. Let's see. We've got this area. We've got some oil tanks here. And this was part of that episode. We got the military base over here. It is pretty funny that the last episode of the series was a military base. But, well, not the last. This is the last episode. But the video before this, the last build in New Windsor was a military base, which is, yeah, it's pretty funny. For those who are not initiated, the biggest request on all City Skylines channels is to build a military base, and nobody has any idea why. So I did it, and it was on April 1st, so yeah, there's that. And I think that's about it for that part of the map. We also have this shopping center that was one of the last builds we made. I'm not going to show you too much of it. It's a shopping center. Like, you've seen a lot of shopping centers in this game. I don't need to show you another. Although there is toilet paper in front of this Costco because I built this back in, like, March. And that was the thing. People watching in 2025 are going to be really confused by this. But, yeah. Okay, that's that. That's that part of the map. We've got this USPS distribution center over here. I still like this building a lot. This is from Industries DLC, and it worked perfectly as a distribution center of some sort. I'm talking a little too fast here. But this is another road that doesn't really make sense. Why did I add a really wide road that just connects there to there? It makes no sense. And it doesn't even continue. Like, it stops. It doesn't even turn into a smaller road. It turns into a smaller road and then it stops totally abruptly. I really don't like the road layout of anywhere near downtown. I know New England cities are badly planned in some ways, as in they weren't planned out very well. The roads weren't very intentional, but they still go places. A lot of the roads in the city don't even go places, which is a rule you don't really want to break because then it doesn't make sense. But yeah, we've got these oil tanks over here. I actually really like this area. There was going to be a lot more industrial stuff in this vicinity, although we never got to building it, which sort of sucks. This whole area was going to be industrial. We always have time for that in Columbia City, though. We did build a couple of mills, which I'll show you. One's right here. Made sure to include some. I was going to build more, though. That was going to be a pretty big part of the rest of the series, just building a ton of mills up and down the rivers. That's sort of weird. Why are you here? Anyway, cool stuff. I guess I'll show you the other side of town, which is not over there. The other side of town is over here. That's what we're calling the sort of poorer part of New Windsor. The other side of the train station's over here. And as you can see, it's very clogged up. Ignore that. We have, yeah, I mean, some small businesses, a little bit of, you know, industrial stuff. Mostly, though, we've got these residential houses that are boarded up. They're similar to the houses in the rest of the city, but they are boarded up because this is not the best of neighborhoods over here on the other side of the tracks. And we have a Piggly Wiggly in New England for absolutely no reason. But yeah, this neighborhood has pretty cool vibes. I will show you my favorite spot in it. I like this. I like how pointlessly high security this area is. Probably unrealistic. Ignore the glitchiness here. Here is my favorite spot in this neighborhood, and one of my favorite spots in the city. Look at... Wait. Look at that. Wait, can we get this in frame right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. An abandoned lot. We've got a Golden Corral sign up there. And boarded up houses. I love the vibes of this area. I was definitely going to build more of this in the future, but it would be pretty similar to what I'd already built. But this was one of my favorite builds when I initially made it. And yeah, I have changed some of the houses around here a little bit. There's some empty lots on purpose. And then there's some more public housing over here. Overall, though, pretty awesome vibes in that neighborhood. I mean, like, sketchy vibes, but awesome vibes nonetheless. Like, look at that corner there. Wow, I love it. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I'm saving that. Okay, so there's that. If you move over here, it just gets a lot more industrial. We got these warehouses along the train tracks, and we have this big warehouse that I placed on my own. I didn't do this on camera. We've got a bunch of warehouses. These were from the video. I placed these for the video where I did the autumn tutorial on the official City Skylines YouTube channel, which you can check out. And then I placed the autumn trees around it. But yeah, warehouses basically. And we've got the sewage treatment plant over here, which is pretty detailed. I like it. Some of it doesn't make too much sense, but maybe there's like some construction of some sort. And then we have some other development over here, and then an old mill down by the water, which is probably abandoned. And then we have these pylons, which are pretty cool, and we've got like an abandoned rail line down below them. If you go over here, it looks even more abandoned. I do like the vibes here. And some of the warehouses in this area are newer, some are older. As you can see, there are a bunch of empty lots. Very industrial area for sure. This is probably the most industrial the city gets, other than a couple other spots, which I'll show you. Yeah, working class neighborhood basically. We got an abandoned rail line. And lots of autumn trees because it's New Windsor. We got a high school over here with some sports fields on the other side. I like how I placed that. That looks pretty cool. We got that church again. I placed that church before. I like it a lot, so I placed it a couple times in the city. And yeah, just more neighborhood stuff over here. And then this area ended up going undeveloped. But it still looks good, other than the trees going through the road when you look across this way for the most part. There's some glitchiness, but overall, pretty cool stuff. So I guess we'll go loop around over here, and then we'll sort of make our way into New Belfast. The video is getting pretty long, though, although that's sort of inevitable. So this area here, this is just a warehouse I placed off camera. I don't even know why it's there. Ignore it. We've got a strip mall. We've got an elementary school. We have tons and tons of triple-deckers. Lots and lots of triple-deckers here. I love this area. Really awesome New England vibes down these streets. Like, I don't know how much more New England you can get than this. You tell me. Like, wow. Look at that. New England vibes. Main Street through here, pretty typical American Main Street with some like gas stations. We've got this laundry place, Pizza Hut, a bunch of random shops here, old and new, gas stations, yeah. And then over here we've got a middle school and then a sports field for the middle school. And then through here we've got power lines. This was going to be detailed more. Ignore that. And then we just have more neighborhoods over here basically. And that's that in relation to the city. I was going to put a big park in this spot here, which would have been pretty cool. Over here we got some public housing along the highway. I like it. It filled up pretty well. Lots of people living here. We've got a cemetery in between this and downtown, which is, wow, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's really huge, actually. And it looks even pretty good from afar. Like, the props don't disappear, which I'm pretty surprised by. So I like that. We have baseball diamond, a bunch of random mixed density stuff over there. And just a bunch of random commercial, like a church. Some more shell tanks over here. And then this area is a lot of commercial, basically. Like, there's a little bit of residential, but mostly it's commercial down this main highway, sort of inspired by Danbury, Connecticut, and some of the billboards there along the highway. Wow, I miss camera positions utility. I have that in Columbia City now, so that is not a problem of bouncing over buildings. But yeah, I mean, I like it. Lots of cool commercial over here. I actually like the vibes in this area a lot. If you go down to ground level and just withstand the 7 FPS, get this like clearing over here with downtown in the background. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, let's see what we've got. So that's the interchange that was earlier in the episode. Over there, that I built that really early in the series. One of my favorite interchanges I've ever built. If you go across the highway, which I think we can do that. I think we've looked at all of the stuff over here at this point. We've worked around all of the stuff on this side of downtown. So we can actually, we'll take a look over here now. Some of this is undeveloped, but this is an area inspired by Pawtucket, Rhode Island. This way, we've got some residential, but also a bunch of commercial on this main street here. I really like the vibes. We got this like waterfront park and then shops on the main street. It's a nice brick main street, and even these side streets are cool. There's a nice theater here. Nice hilly area. Yeah, I like this side of town. Then we've got a bridge going over here, which is the Industries DLC road, and a mill down by the water. And then we have one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city. I just like how open this is. I don't like how this road, this huge arterial, is just so wide and has so much space. It's not really realistic for a New England city. So I definitely would have done that differently if I were to make New Windsor again. Down by the water here, we've got some awesome bridges. I used Railway Mod networks to sort of clip them into that road. And pretty cool vibes. And then a bike path that goes actually all the way around into New Belfast over there, which we'll get to. So I'm going to leave, so that neighborhood's across from here. I'm going to just go through this part of town. I want to end on New Belfast because it is probably my favorite part of the city, so I want to end there. The zoo is over here. I mean, I don't like the zoo. I really don't. It's a zoo. There's not much to say about it. I didn't put too much effort into it. It works for what it is, but I feel like the zoo in Columbia City using the same assets is much better. So if you want a good zoo, check out that series. Over here is a neighborhood that I've totally redone. This was based on Federal Hill in Providence. We made this in episode 3. It's got this theater, which I haven't actually changed over time, which is pretty crazy. It's stayed there, yeah, for a long time. But everything else I have changed. These used to be different houses. I changed them because they didn't fit the rest of the city. It's a historical neighborhood, basically, but I still tried to keep the older-looking streets, so we've still got that vibe. We've got an elementary school over here that's really packed all the time, which is sort of interesting. And then we've got this neighborhood, like, in between here and downtown, like some hotels with parking garages down by the highway, and then a church with a cemetery, which I highly enjoy. Then we have more suburbs, lots of suburbs. This is like the largest area of suburbs in the city. Pretty expansive. And then we've got this park here, neighborhood park with like it's like a baseball field sort of. Although, yeah, it barely looks like it. Anyway, we have over here we've got some more development that's probably a little bit newer. Parking lots right by the highway. I don't like the detailing of the highway that much, but I also don't hate it. Like, pretty cool vibes, like looking at New Belfast in the distance there. There's grass on the road, I know. It's not perfect, but it looks like an American highway. You gotta give it that. So, yeah, let's see. More suburbs. We've got a shopping center we built pretty early in the series over here. I think we built this like episode 6, so not too far into the series. We have a church within these suburbs. We have, more suburbs, just lots of suburbs. And then there's some commercial on this main street, just some like strip malls and stuff, which I figured would be realistic. And then let's head over here because I forgot to show you part of downtown across from that main avenue. There's this area which is based on the jewelry district in Providence, which is one of my favorite parts of town. I really like this. It's this sort of public square with way too much parking and a theater. The theater's on the right there. This was based specifically off the jewelry district in Providence. I think this theater is from the exact spot we based it off of, and I had to place it here once Darf made it. Really awesome stuff. It clipped a little bit wrong there, but it still looks great. So good job to Darf on that one. We had a children's hospital over here with like a medical office building next to it. A bunch of random development over here, but that's not too unrealistic. I don't hate that. We got a park. And then we have... I don't know. This neighborhood's totally random. It's a weird density mix between lower... Not even lower. It's just like triple deckers and then some row houses. Although I think it's pretty realistic. We've got these like older houses on the main road here, which, by the way, I don't like how wide this road is. Whatever. But yeah, older houses there. And yeah, over here is this avenue that sort of goes under this big interchange. This is a build that Taser made way early in the series, a sort of industrial harbor of some sort. And I like it. Looks pretty cool. It's the closest thing the city has to a harbor. I was never going to make a real big harbor for the city, but this is sort of one. And this interchange is pretty awesome. I like it. We got a high school over here. There used to be school buses in that parking lot, but there aren't anymore. We've got IKEA over to the right across the highway, which I dig a ton. And then we have, over here we have these oil tanks. Weird radio mast thing over there. A bunch of random industry. I think I based this off of some stuff in Portland. Maine, not Oregon. Wow, look at that. I like it. Pretty cool stuff. These tetrapods here. And this is part of New Belfast, so I'm not going to show you that yet. We got some industry here. I actually don't hate this street here. It's a little wide. Could be less wide, but still, I don't hate it. And then, let's see. Let's head over to this district over here. This is a lot of new development over here. We have some industrial stuff, but mostly we have this huge new arena. This beautiful FedEx Forum building by King Leno. This building was so perfect when it came out, and I knew I had to place it here. Got like a bus stop right next to the entrance, and some like newer apartments on this street. And then, yeah, just a bunch of random commercial over here. I really like this district. And then, yeah, that's New Belfast, so we'll take a look at that later. Saving that for last. And, yeah, I mean, we just got a bunch of suburbs going down this way. We have a mall. This is sort of where we are on the map, in case you're wondering. We're over here. The mall we built pretty early in the series. I still like it. It's a little underpopulated. I don't know why people are only using that. I think it's just because the Macy's is one of the only functional buildings. Who knows? But parking lot looks a little weird, just the way people are populating it, but still looks fine. And we've got the campus over here. This is New Windsor University. It is, I believe this was supposed to be like a state school. Or it might have been the University of New Windsor. It's one of those, a very generic name. But this is some newer student housing over here. This is a huge football stadium with lots of parking around it. We've got the track field over here. We have, this is, for context, this is that smaller town based on Pawtucket that we made, and then that suburb across from it. This is the bike path that continued over. And you got the student housing on this side of campus over here, which is pretty awesome. I love this. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. And then you've got a law school over there, parking garage with a little bit of a transit hub there, because that's the other end, because remember how the light rail line ended at the train station? The other end of it is all the way over here at the university. And then some nice open detailing, and pretty generic looking campus, but still looks pretty cool. Right on the water there. Some King Leno buildings that go very well with the other campus buildings. And then we have the medical school over here. And the medical school and hospital. This is the hospital from the university, surrounded by a bunch of buildings that are probably populated by med students. And some pretty cool detailing here. I like that. Okay, I think we're good to cover New Belfast now. So New Belfast is the second city within New Windsor. So it's not in the city of New Windsor, actually. It is its own city. And it's based on Portland, Maine, loosely. Although I took a lot of liberties, as you'll see. So first of all, over here, we have this older neighborhood, which is based off of the peninsula on the east end of Portland. Or, well, like the east end of Portland's Maine peninsula. With like a bike path going down. Those are those oil tanks we were looking at earlier. We got some industrial down by the water, which actually looks really sick. Like, I like that. With this was also, yeah, this was very specifically based on a location in Portland. There's an abandoned rail yard here. The rail cars don't necessarily look abandoned, but the rail yard does. Still looks pretty cool. And the idea is that this is an old industrial area that used to have a rail line that might have gone down through possibly this corridor here that now has an avenue on it, and used to loop around to a warehouse over there. Then we have this wharf over here, pier, whatever you want to call it. And a bunch of random brick buildings that are vaguely industrial. We've got this really, I mean, this is from Jarf's University collection of 2 buildings, but it worked really well as this, I don't even know what it is. Then there's like a cemetery behind it. Okay, there's a main street on this in this neighborhood up here that's really stupid. So it's got, I mean, these back areas are pretty big, not unrealistically big, but there's this really, really dumb lighthouse. Why? I added this for no reason. Just because maybe tourists might want to come to a stupid lighthouse that isn't actually a lighthouse on top of a hill in a commercial district. Why not? This is totally a tourist trap. Nothing more, nothing less. But you gotta love it. Let's get off the ground. The noise is pretty annoying. Okay. Lighthouse. That's a weird part of New Belfast. And then, yeah, there's this sort of road that cuts through based on a road in Portland, Maine. And then some apartments down here, which I like a lot. And then, yeah, this neighborhood is filled with DARF triple-deckers. And then some other triple-deckers as well. But these DARF triple-deckers, I wish I could have placed some of the newer DARF triple-deckers. Like, this was just when they initially came out. They look so cool. And I wish I could have placed more of these towards downtown New Windsor itself. But being able to place them at all is totally a luxury that I am very willing to take. So I mean, look at that neighborhood. That is totally New England. Totally peak, really, really wealthy area in touristy downtown New England. Yeah, so there's that parking lot there. A little bit of newer development, but mostly you get this like hill over here with a park. Mostly it's this downtown core area of New Belfast that I really love. Okay, actually no, I like the Wharfs more, but this I love as well. This is glorious. You got this building at the end here, which is from Kansas City, I believe. Spectacular, spectacular building. I think it's by Light-Footed. Love it. And we got the Peabody Hotel from King Leno there, which, I mean, you cannot go wrong with this building. Oh my god, my frame rate's bad. I'm sorry. But, gotta show this off in all its glory. Wow. The detail on that is absolutely bonkers. Love it. Okay. We got one newer sort of office tower here that still has the same color as the rest of the buildings, but not, otherwise it isn't really like them. We got a parking lot there, which is a little glitchy. Got a park. And that's downtown New Belfast. There's a bus line that sort of goes through there. And it's some awesome little New England apartments there. I'll save my best view in New Windsor for last. It's around here. You might remember it from a cinematic previously. We got like an event hall here, which has some random industrial building in it for some reason. I didn't put that there. It doesn't look horrible though. Wow, that's random. What? There's like 2 industrial buildings in there. No, 3. What? Okay, it doesn't look out of place somehow. I don't know how, but it looks fine. So I'm going to keep it there. We've got Darf's fire headquarters here because it looks so perfect. I had to place it. And just a bunch of older buildings. And then it turns into pedestrian streets over here, which cars are allowed on, but mostly it's like pedestrians. And these are some warehouses and random stuff. These are all based on like wharves in Portland, Maine. And I mean, look at these New England vibes here. Ooh, that is... Okay, that's glitchy. Okay, there we go. Nice. Nice. These DARF buildings are so good. I will have to do a mini build featuring these very, very prominently in the future because, I mean, I never got to use these enough in New Windsor. They only came out towards the end of the series. I'm gonna come out like a year ago, but like I still haven't made too many episodes in this year. And yeah, a little bit glitchy. I should have used Terraform Network here, but I don't think it was out even when I initially made this area. Got an old boat here. Bunch of old boats actually. This is an industrial wharf. I like it. I detailed this area probably more than anywhere else in the city. And it shows. We got like newer condo developments over here. With this big ship of some sort, which is pretty cool. Maybe unrealistic, but cool. And then we have a bunch of props placed here with like pallets and, you know, boxes and pipes and stuff. A bunch of random buildings, which somehow fit together to produce a really cohesive whole. I could have done this area so much better now, but this made me, this taught me so much for what I'm going to do for Columbia City's waterfront, which is going to be a really difficult build, but we'll discuss that in Columbia City. Over here is the most New England scene in the entire series. We've got a lobster shack truck, food truck with a Dunkin' Donuts and a bunch of brick buildings and autumn trees. I mean, look at that. That is peak New England right there. Gotta love it. I'm gonna get a hit there. Pickup truck. Okay. Ooh, FPS is so bad. Apologies for that. But yeah, vibes here are pretty sick. I probably should have gone like heavier on the New England assets by Darf and a little lighter on the Chrysler assets and the Brooklyn assets, but I still like it. And then we've got this other wharf over here. I think this is the first one I made, so it's a little bit, I don't like it as much as the other ones, but still pretty cool. They're all really unique. If you can see that, they're all totally unique, and they stand on their own. We got like a marina over there, a steamboat museum for literally no reason. It's unrealistic, I know. Leave me alone. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And then we have City Hall for New Belfast. It has to have its own City Hall. I really like this area. We built this pretty late in the series, and I love it. I don't even know what this is supposed to be, but it looks cool. And we got the bike path going around through the university into that Pawtucket area. The marina over there. The development here is a little possibly unrealistic, but maybe this lot the hospital's on used to be some sort of other development, and it got turned into an open space. Who knows? Anyway, here's one of my favorite spots in the city. Not my favorite spot, but Main Street, New Belfast, is different from downtown New Belfast. Main Street's down here. And we got a Dunkin' Donuts, because of course we do. And then we have all of these cars. It is totally busy. We got the light rail going straight through it. And I placed the... I couldn't resist. I had to place the Providence Theater again. So I placed it over here as well. Yeah, that's Main Street, New Belfast. Wow. Yeah. I like it. And then you look over here, you're at the waterfront. Just a couple steps away from this beautiful New England scene. Now, I think I've shown you basically everything there is to see in the city, if I'm not wrong. So I'll sort of show you my favorite screenshot of any location in the city. I mean, obviously you've got like screenshots of the entire city, which maybe beat it just because of how vast they are. But in terms of showing the character of New Windsor, I think my favorite is... Here, let me just adjust the lighting a little bit and I'll get you the perfect view to end on here. Don't worry, you'll get a lot more shots like this in the cinematic video. I'm not going to go on ground level too much right now. You'll get that cinematic video. Yeah, this is probably it. That is probably my favorite. Something like this is my favorite shot of New Windsor, because you've got everything. You've got the beautiful townhouses of New Belfast. You've got New Belfast downtown. You've got downtown New Windsor. You've got some industry in the background, these beautiful autumn New England hills. You've got Main Street, New Belfast. It's so good. I think this New Belfast is probably my favorite build I've ever made in the game. Just this city of New Belfast here. It's not the most cohesive, it's not the most realistic, but there's something about it that I will really miss. And then this is also really cool, just looking at that right there. Wow. I totally love it. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. This is longer than any video I've made in a long time. It was just in-game, flying around. That's the city. I've shown you everything there is to see in New Windsor. There isn't anything left to see, as far as I know. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you all enjoyed. Let's get a nice angle on the city here to end on. Oh, wait, no, there is one more thing I have to show you. The Mcmansion Suburbs. Because, of course, you have to have these in any American city. Why do these exist? Who knows? Some developer got some sort of land deal and then was somehow allowed to build here. I don't support it, but I'm trying to be realistic here. And, I mean, okay, seeing the skyline in the background is pretty cool. You have to admit. But these houses are pretty stupid. I would not want to live here. And then we've got this development over here, which, same thing. Bigger lots even. I would probably like to live here even less. Like, why is this yard so big? You don't need a yard this big. Yeah. Anyway, just trying to be realistic. Got to make sure I include Mcmansion Suburbs somewhere in the city. But that's it. That's New Windsor. Hopefully you all enjoyed the series, not just this episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video. That would help me out a ton. And subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified whenever I upload a video. So I never miss an upload, so you never miss an upload. But you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those are in the description. And if you want to get access to the New Windsor save game, head over to my Patreon. It is up there for patrons. I'd upload it on the Steam Workshop, but there's really no way that like a lot of people are going to be able to get into it. It's pretty hard to get into. You need a bunch of DLCs like Industries, Park Life. You need Mass Transit, After Dark, Snowfall, probably one or two more to get into the save game. But I want to make sure that the people who really, really want to get into the save game are able to do so, and then having it be on Patreon allows me to do that because like it's just $10 and you can just stop being a patron the month after if you want, but just get access to the save game, and then I'll try to support you the best I can. Like I can't help you for months trying to get into it, but I'll try to help you see if you can get into the save game. For those who really, really want to and want to maybe expand the city or fly around in the completed build, that's an option for you over on Patreon. But the support over there, regardless whether or not you're there for save game access or anything, is highly, highly appreciated. And support generally on the channel and for the series of New Windsor is more than appreciated. This series was really what helped my channel take off. I think it was the staple of this channel, and I think a lot of people still don't think Columbia City has surpassed it. And I mean, in some ways, I don't blame them. This is a really vast city. I feel like if it expanded out to maybe just the stuff just all of the stuff you see in frame right here, if the city was as vast as this, it would be complete, fully complete. I don't think New Windsor's fully complete, but I think it is complete enough for me to call it quits because I don't want to continue and just upload 2 episodes a year at some point and end on a sour note. I want to end on a strong note, and I feel like this is the best way to do so. I hope you support me in this decision, and I hope you enjoy the cinematic video and possible transit ride video you'll see moving forward for New Windsor. But other than that, that's it for New Windsor content. See you later, folks.